Taking time to pour into yourself daily is so important, especially as a wife. But how do you? Do you do it every day, or do you even think about it? Well, I know I didn't until I found a way that I could do so every day simply, and it has changed so much. But before I get into all of that, let me welcome you back to my channel. My name is Ayanna, and this is Beyond Committed, where we talk about everything from life, faith, family, marriage, motherhood, and everything in between, and we take them beyond. If this is your first time here, welcome, and I'm so glad you stopped by. And to make sure you're not a stranger, make sure you press that subscribe button below and then turn on your notifications so you don't miss a video. All right, now let's dive right in. As wives, we know with the ups and downs of life, married life, mom life, it's so easy to get stuck in a down space and then need some encouragement. And it's so great to get encouragement from others, whether it's your husband, friends, family, because I mean, we all need each other. It's a village, and it takes a village to have a strong marriage. But what happens when you need to encourage yourself, which you should daily? In those times to when you're like, okay, this is just too much, I'm overwhelmed, or I'm just not where I want to be. It is in those moments that we have to make sure that we're encouraging ourselves. And I found one way that was so eye-opening to me. It was a way that I was like, okay, I can pour into myself daily. I can remind myself of the things that I know about myself, the things that God says about me. And those were through positive affirmations, and in particular affirmations for wives, because in this wife life sometimes it can feel daunting, it can feel overwhelming, and there's times where we start to second guess, like, okay, am I doing the right thing? Am I loving? Am I kind? Am I making my marriage a priority? Am I keeping myself a priority in the midst of making my marriage a priority, and then taking care of the kids and working and the home and all the other things that are part of this wife life? And in the midst of all of it, it's so important that we are encouraging ourselves along the way. And positive affirmations is such a great way to do that. And I found 3 real important reasons why it's necessary, not just for you as a wife, but for you as a woman. Number 1 is to build a strong marriage, you need to be a strong wife, because it's so easy in the midst of trying to take care of everyone, trying to manage everyone, that we lose ourselves in the midst of it, or we put ourselves last. It's like, okay, I'll get to me once I've kind of taken care of everybody else, once my husband's needs are met, once the kids' needs are met, once my boss's needs are met, all of the things that, you know, on our list of to-dos, all the many hats that we wear daily, and then we get to ourselves last. And it's something that we can't do in order to stay encouraged, in order to be the strong wife God created us to be. And in the midst of all that, it's also important that we're mindful of the words that we speak over ourselves, to encourage us, to strengthen us, to give us that motivation to kind of just keep moving, putting one step in front of the other. And in order to do that, we need to make sure the things that we speak to ourselves, the things that we listen to, the things that we allow other people to say to us is encouraging and uplifting, even if it's something that, you know, may not always be easy to hear. It's something that allows us to grow and allows us to be strengthened. And the positive affirmations can help you do that, can help to strengthen you from your own words, helping you to not be listening to what everyone else says about you, but what you know about you and what God says about you. And number 2, affirmation for wives also help to remind you of how invaluable you are to your marriage. In the midst of all of it, in the midst of the wife title, it's often that we get lost in that. It's like this hat that we wear all the time. So it often feels and can get to the point of feeling like, okay, you know what? I'm a wife and I'm just doing all these things. And sometimes those things, we lose the value in them. We lose a perspective of saying that, you know what? All the things that you do within your home, all the ways you love, care for, and serve your husband and your marriage is so valuable, and it's something that is how God created you, and it's a beautiful thing, and there's nothing wrong with the service, the love, and the care that you give to your husband. But it's also important that you remember that the value that you bring to your marriage has nothing to do with the things you do and the way you do them and all of those other things. It's because you bring value to your marriage by being who you are. God created you beautifully, wonderfully, and fearfully made, family. And in that, there is so much beauty, that there's so much treasure, that is something that is so valuable to your husband, to your marriage, and to your family. So it's important that when we forget, or when it gets to those times where we need a little pick-me-up, remembering how much value we bring to our marriage just by being is a really good thing to remember, and a way that positive affirmations keep reminding us of that. And number 3 is, remember, your words have power, so use them wisely. Now, this we all know when we're talking to our husbands, kids, friends, family. I mean, even strangers. We know how easy it is to kind of just flip off at the mouth, and you're like, oh, I'm sorry, let me apologize for that. I know that's something that I've had to work on, and I still work on now. Sometimes my mouth moves faster than my brain, and it's like, okay, nope, I shouldn't have said that. Because our words are so powerful. They have the power to comfort and heal and care for and love, but they also have the power to cut and cut deep. And sometimes those deep cuts we inflict on ourselves with our negative talk, our negative mindsets, our negative self-talk, those things that when we're in the mirror, like, well, I don't like this, or I don't know this, or I'm not enough of this, or I can't do this. And all of those things are not true. You are more than enough. You are beautiful. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. God created you to do and be so many things. And it is those moments when those negative self-talk moments happen, and when you're cutting yourself with your words, that we have to remember that taming your tongue is not just the words that you actually speak out to others, but it's the words that you say to yourself. And affirmations are a great way for you to kind of make sure you're taming that, making sure you're speaking positive truth over yourself daily. And I know I found one of the greatest ways to do that is with having daily affirmation cards. So once I decided that I needed some affirmation cards for me as a wife, I went searching. So I found some for women. I found some for women of faith. And then I found some for wives. But I couldn't find any that I really loved that truly combined all three and spoke personally to me. So I created my own. And these affirmation cards for wives are such a blessing. They have been such a blessing to me. I have put them in my car. They've been on my mirror. Sometimes I change them every day. And then sometimes I leave the one card up for a few days because I'm like, hey, that's where I am. That's what I need speaking over myself daily. That's what I need to be reminded of. And I also realized that I couldn't just keep this for myself. I needed to share it. So this is my free gift to you. In the link below in the description, you can get your copy of the affirmation cards for wives, because we need to be reminded of how valuable we are, of what a treasure we are. We need to be reminded of how strong we are as wives. And we also sometimes need a little bit of help taming our tongue for ourselves in order to speak positive light over ourselves every day, because it's so important that we're reminded of how fearfully and wonderful we made, how our husband is for us, how much of a treasure we are, and how uniquely we are made for our marriage. And these are actually examples of some of the cards within the affirmation cards for wives. And I hope you get your free copy, because here at Beyond Committed, we are all about helping us to take our life, faith, and marriage beyond. And this is a great way for you to do so on a daily basis. All right, that's it for today. And I want to know, what's the way in which you build yourself up as a wife? Is there something that you do, something that you listen to, whatever it is? I want to know, and let me know in the comment box below. And if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and then make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn your notifications so you don't miss a video. All right, now, until I see you again, bye.